Good morning, everyone. Drew here, and today I've got another cereal review for you. Um, as much as I've been enjoying going over some of the more interesting cereals out there, I think it's also important to talk about the classics that made cereal what it is today. So, today I'm going to be starting my classic series, where I'm going to be going over some of the best, the OG cereals, if you will. Um, to get that started today, I couldn't think of a better contender than what got me started on kids cereal, which is boom, Lucky Charms. Um, it started in 1963, I think. So this is a pretty old cereal. Um, we got the classic, you know, basic cereal plus marshmallows. There's not a ton that can go wrong there. And you'll notice my box is already open. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but we'll get the milk on there. And we'll get this show on the road. And now I want to get started on this right away because Lucky Charms can get soggy pretty quick. So basically as soon as the milk goes on, it's good to go. And yeah, it's pretty great. It's all the classic things I remember. It's crunchy right away, but it gets soggy pretty quick. The pieces are lightly sweetened, I think, but you barely notice it because the marshmallows are so sweet. So, you get plenty of sweetness from the marshmallows, so you get a sugary experience, but I don't think you could eat a bowl of straight marshmallows, so the oats cut it out. Now, part of the reason it gets so soggy is because these pieces, they're made from toasted oats, so basically that means they're pretty porous. Milk gets in there quick, so I won't even need to do any kind of time skip on this video. Just from talking to you guys, they're going to get soggier and soggier until they're barely good anymore. I mean, thankfully, I like really soggy cereal, so this works out perfectly for me. And the only thing that can be kind of weird about that is that the oat pieces definitely dry out or get soggy faster than the marshmallows do. And that's why I mentioned at the beginning my box was already open, because if you just leave it open for 2 days, the marshmallows are so dehydrated that they get stale faster than the oat pieces do. So after 2 days, the marshmallows are a little bit softer, and what that means is when you pour the milk over, the oat pieces are never going to get soggier than the marshmallows are. But what that does mean is you still have to eat it quickly. You get 5 minutes, maybe 10 for the whole thing. So certainly not something you want to pour a gigantic bowl of and leave sitting out. One thing I've noticed is that this is certainly a really popular type of cereal because everyone has copied it. All of the movie-based cereals like Star Wars or the Frozen cereals, or a lot of off-brand cereals too, like Boo Berry, I guess, is one of the classic ones. But a lot of people figure this is a good formula, is regular cereal pieces plus marshmallows. What I've noticed with newer iterations is I think they didn't, this is a cereal that came out in 1963, so I don't think they wanted to go hard on the sugar, which is why the individual oat pieces are pretty lightly sweetened, if they're sweetened at all. But with newer cereals, you'll see that the pieces themselves are sweetened along with the marshmallows, and they're especially with the movie-based cereals, they've basically doubled the number of marshmallows because they know sugar is king. But the other thing that in terms of just non-addictive sugar changes, the other change I've noticed is that newer cereals that do the Lucky Charms formula tend to be, instead of doing a toasted oat cereal, which is what Lucky Charms has, and it's the same as like Cheerios or a toasted oat cereal, newer cereals will do corn-based cereals. Like I know that the Star Wars one is corn-based. Like Trix, it's a ground and sweetened cornmeal cereal. And then some of the other ones will also do, instead of oats, they'll do puffed corn, like corn pops. And the thing about that is that corn-based cereals just hold up way better in milk. So you don't get the issue that Lucky Charms has where it kind of becomes soggy instantaneously. And even now, it's really been only a couple of minutes since I poured the bowl and I started talking, but these these pieces are already much soggier than they were at the start. But they're right about the place where I like them right now. So I'll want to dive through the rest of that bowl because, yeah, this is the consistency I like where the pieces are a little bit soggy. But if you like your cereal to be dry and crunchy, you're either going to want to eat your Lucky Charms, a small bowl really quickly, or you're going to want to stick to those corn-based cereals, like sweetened corn ones. Like I said, corn pops or Trix, or if you really want the marshmallow fix, you can do the newer, go just look up whatever the hot new kids movie is, and there will be a cornmeal marshmallow cereal for that movie. But all of that said, knocking it, I actually really like Lucky Charms a lot. I think sugar's delicious, but it's almost overkill when you have a total, like a fully sweetened cereal plus marshmallows. I mean, if any of you have had Trix is already fine. Maybe imagine like pouring marshmallows over a bowl of Trix. It's like kind of excessive, especially if you're increasing the marshmallow ratio over Lucky Charms. So Lucky Charms is pretty perfect for me. And like I said, because I let those marshmallows get stale for about 2 days, they soak into the milk a lot better, and it makes the whole thing, it spreads out the sweetness, so you don't have to worry about, did I get, am I getting enough marshmallow pieces in this bite? Did someone open the bag and eat a bunch of marshmallow pieces, and now there's way less marshmallows? You just get the sugar soaked into the milk, and then you don't have to worry about so much about how many marshmallow pieces you're getting. But yeah, I do like Lucky Charms a lot. This is one of the original cereals for me. This is the one I ate a lot as a kid. I'm noticing now it looks like, I'll grab it with my finger, there's a new piece. So if any of you know what this is, I don't think they had this when I was a kid. I can't. It's kind of rainbowy. Oh yeah, it's all more obvious on the box. It's a unicorn. Let's see if y'all can see it. Boop, it's right there. So that's a new piece for me, but same old Lucky Charms marshmallowy goodness that I loved as a kid. One thing I actually think is really funny is the whole reason they made Lucky Charms is to sell the marshmallows. General Mills came up with these little dehydrated marshmallows called Marbits, which they wanted to be, I guess, like a kid snack, sort of like building off the popularity of those circus peanuts. But the thing is, everyone hated circus peanuts because they were squishy. So they used corn syrup and dehydrated it to holy hell. And then you get these little marshmallow pieces that they wanted to sell. So they created Lucky Charms as sort of a marketing strategy, basically to, sell this cereal to people to get them introduced to these little dehydrated marshmallows in hopes that they would buy them alone as a snack. But because they went so hard on the marketing campaign in like comic books and everything that kids did and like TV shows for Lucky Charms became really popular, and the individual marshmallow snack never did. I'm guessing because while the circus peanuts are gross. The thing that they have going for them in terms of parents buying candy for their kids is your kid isn't going to eat a whole bag of it because it's gross. I think if you gave your kid a box full of Lucky Charms marshmallows, they would die or something. So yeah, I don't that one didn't really take off with parents, but the cereal did, and I'm glad for it because marshmallow based cereals are dope. Um, it's one of the better ones. I feel like this is certainly like, I don't know, an 8 out of 10 for me. Um, but the influence of it is clear, both that it's stuck around for more than 50 years, but unlike all the other old cereals, all of the newer cereals copy Lucky Charms. People know that this is a winning formula. Yeah, so that's about all I have to say for this, what I consider one of the true classics. I'll try to come back to these as often as I can because, like I said, I think it's important to talk about the cereals that made cereal what it is today, the giants that the more interesting cereals are standing on. Also, it's nice to eat a bowl of cereal that I want to finish. Speaking of which, I am going to wrap up this video now so I can eat my now perfectly soggy Lucky Charms. So, ciao everyone. Till next time. God, I love this shit. It's not even too soggy yet. The tricky part is saving the marshmallows for the end. I hate it when you finish off the marshmallows and there's still like a whole bowl full of cereal pieces. And of course, that implies that I'm not eating the marshmallows straight out of the box, which obviously I have been. And there's so much you can do to concern yourself. That's the other real advantage that the full cornmeal sugar sweetened cereals with marshmallows have over Lucky Charms is I'll take a whole handful of Star Wars cereal. It's all sweet right out of the box if I'm snacking on it. Snacking on Lucky Charms is like, it's hard to not subconsciously go for the marshmallows, and then you screw the whole ratio of the cereal for when you actually want to have it in milk. So that's the one nice thing. If you like snacking on your cereal box a lot, definitely get one of the newer ones. Sugar all the way down. And now I get to enjoy the milk, which I haven't done in quite a while.